Hey everyone, Henry W. Steele here. This is going to be the fifth and final installment of Unlocking Gann 45 Years in Wall Street. Had a little bit of extra time today, so I decided to go ahead and get it done before it took another couple months for me to do it. You'll remember this. If you've seen any of the first four, I'll put links up to them here in the top here. You can watch those if you want. If you've seen them, you know that we looked at this bottom paragraph of page 1. And we looked at this information down here, the June 14th, 1949, and we looked at a couple other things, but this video is going to show you some coincidences that you may or may not put value on. And if you do put value on them, then you might want to look at the rest of this book or any else of Gann's work in a new light with this information. I don't know, maybe you've already figured this stuff out for yourself, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. It says in 1949, June 14th, when stocks reached extreme low, there were about 1,100 issues traded in that day. There were only 112 stocks selling above $100 per share. Many of these were preferred stocks held by investors, and this class of stock moves in a narrow range. On June 14th, there were 315 stocks selling below 20, 202 selling below 10, and 83 selling below $5 per share, making a total of 600 selling down here below $20 per share, or more than 50% of the total issues traded. With so many stocks selling at low levels, can you only make money by taking, or you can only make money by taking long pull trading positions. Okay, back up here. Now, if you'll notice, when I started here, I had the Astrolog 6.1 up, and I had it to June 14th, 1949, and set to noon. And this is exactly the day the Gann was talking about there, because it was a low in the market. If you look at the price chart of the Dow Jones, you'll see that it was a low back then. Now, what I wanted to show you is this is what the market looked like. This is geocentric. We had a trine with the south node here, the lunar south node, and the sun, and a sextile with Uranus and Saturn. That seems pretty important. And if we look heliocentrically, we'll see that there's a trine also there, the same trine. And nothing else really shows up here. Now, let's go ahead back here. I want to show you the aspect settings. I have the aspect set to an orb of 1, which means it has to be, the aspect has to be very precise to show up on here. And it's just a traditional, the conjunction, opposition, square, triangle, sextile. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to assume that Gann was trying to give us a message here. This is on June 14th, 1949. This is the date we have. Low was made, and about 1,100 issues were traded in that day. There were only 112 stocks, so we're going to use that 112 as an aspect. I'm going to use the inconjunct aspect, but I'm going to change it to 112, and if it shows up here, it'll be a purple line. And we see we had two actually they weren't inconjunct, but two 112-degree aspects between the north node and Pluto and Uranus and the south node on June 14th. Maybe that's important. Maybe it's just a coincidence. If we go to heliocentric, we see that there's a couple of them also. All right. Now, we're going to go forward, and here it says 315 stocks sell below 20. Well, 315 is 45 less than 360 degrees, so it's actually a 45-degree aspect. So we're going to change this 112 to 45 and see if we get anything. And lo and behold, we do. Look at that. There's a Uranus and Pluto and a Saturn and a south lunar node aspect showing up there. And if we look, there's even one right here. This is the same one. Excuse me. So we find that interesting. Now there's a 202 right here. There were 202 selling below $10 a share. 202 is actually, if we take 360 and subtract 202, because 202 is bigger than 180 degrees, we have to make it smaller than 180 degrees for it to show up as an aspect. And here we have 158 degrees. So let's change that again. Aspect settings from 45 to 158. And look at that. We have a Jupiter and Venus in geocentric. Let's see if we have anything in heliocentric. We have Jupiter and Pluto. Very interesting. Possibly just a coincidence. I'll let you decide. Now, let's go ahead and look here. And then we also have the 83 selling below $5 per share. 83 selling below. Let's look at aspect of 83 degrees and see if we find anything. There's nothing in heliocentric. But there is something in geocentric right there. So we have those coincidences. Now let's go ahead and go down to the next page, and here we have a couple other numbers that I'll let you explore if you think there's any value to it whatsoever. Now, like I said, this could just be very coincidental. It could just be that he was using these numbers because there were actually 112 stocks selling above $100 per share. Or maybe he was trying to tell us something and giving us different relationships to look at for different reasons. So that might be something you want to look forward or look into more so going forward. Maybe not. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. It's a little over 16 minutes long. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.